I'm going to pulse bomb the Pharah. Okay?
Try it.
I'm doing it. Hey, what's up guys, it's Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about Tracer on defense. We're going to break down the best things to do and the worst things to do as well. You will also see gameplay from Diamond all the way up until Grandmasters to show that this does work, but a big disclaimer here first, this is a more advanced Tracer thing. You don't really want to pick up Tracer and then start learning her on defense. Things like blink management, which we've covered before, rewinds, tracking, all of that good stuff. There are guides, they can be linked in the description. We have a big playlist of them too, and I recommend that you're very competent at Tracer before trying to play her on defense. Now, she is top of the meta right now. She can be worked into nearly any map, any comp, any situation, and I'm talking most. So I have some very important lessons for you guys today. I'm playing Tracer on defense. Now, I'm going to go through examples of what to do and what not to do, and just to give you guys a quick example, you'll see that on Temple of Anubis, I've gone up top onto the perch. You can do this by going up the stairs and blinking over from the health pack room. It's very simple, and I sit on this perch and I wait for something to pounce on, and that's what this play style is. It is initiating at the right time to cause a problem in the enemy backline while your team are also initiating on them, so your timing has to be very, very good. The ideal situation is what happens here. I drop down on the Zen, I kill him, I get in a cheeky melee to try and finish him off, and then I rewind back up to the top. That's what you want to be doing, and you'll see as this clip continues, it's more of the same. Both teams are kind of split around, but what can happen in solo queue a lot is when you're on defense, your team get really scared, they split themselves off, and that's what the enemy team preys on. They will dive your backline and cause all kinds of problems from all kinds of angles. Anubis first point is notorious for this because usually someone will be running a dive comp, but they'll also have a Widow, and all of these angles make it very difficult. But if you have a defensive Tracer in your pocket, it's something you can pull out to almost counter this, to counter the backline issue on them, so that while their frontline are attacking you, you've also got some big presence on their backline as well. Now, the reason that I call this playstyle difficult is what I'll show you in some Gibraltar gameplay now, where I'm trying to run this defensive Tracer, and it's all about timings. And you'll see that at the start of the game, I see an opportunity, or at least I think I do, to drop down and get a kill on one of their healers. Now, what actually happens is my team aren't initiating at all. I drop down, try and get a kill, don't hit good shots, don't blink well, don't rewind, get hooked and die. There's like a million things wrong with this clip. I don't initiate anywhere near the right time. My team are just poking. We don't have any dive tanks. It was a really, really terrible play by me. That puts me in the respawn. So the only thing my team can do from this situation is completely back up and regroup. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So what happens is we get rolled until the second point, and then we actually see some not quite so bad Tracer play that I'll break down for you guys now. So in this next clip, you'll see that it's not just the Tracer that's working well here, it is the constant counter initiation from my team. You'll see that we've got a Genji and a D.Va, which is really strong on defense, depending on what the enemy team are running. And this gives us the opportunity to all take up duels on our own. And what happens is me having the soldier on me and the Zen panicking and dropping his ult means that there's so much attention on me. My Genji really just cleans up. This also gives us the opportunity then to chase them into their spawn. I also then get to go and get the D.Va out of her mech. And that's what this play style is. You don't necessarily have to have your whole team on dive heroes on defense, although Winston D.Va right now is so much stronger than having a Zarya and a Ryan that it's not even comparable. They're so not meta right now that it's almost a really bad idea to have this on defense. But we have a D.Va, we have a Genji, and all of these angles is exactly what you want to be taking. It works so well. Now, what you have to do as Tracer is be careful. You can't simply just dive in and be alive at the whole time. You have to pick your battles. So throughout all of these clips, I won't be able to point them out, you'll see me in fights that even if I've nearly killed a healer or I've nearly killed their main DPS, I'll run away. because staying alive on defense is way more important than getting a kill. Being able to rubber band back and then back into the enemies in order to kill them is exactly what you want to be doing. So you'll see that in more clips now, where I'm poking and trying to get kills and I'm not getting any, but I'm charging ultimates and all that good stuff. And then when there's an opportunity, and my Genji's doing the same thing because it's a very similar playstyle, we wait for that opportunity and then we pounce on it. Now we have a very good Lucio at this point that is speeding our Rhine around, because Rhine here would be a very bad pick for this comp, but our Lucio's doing a really good job at moving him around. So here more and more you'll see me poking, trying to get kills. I try and get a kill on the soldier, but it doesn't work out. I back up, the Winston dives in, so I'll back up some more. And then when they try and initiate, and this is what I'm talking about, my team are also front facing. So we're front facing and I start poking in the back line, and I'm able to pick out the Zen. I'm able to go and stick the soldier as he tries to retreat, and once more it's another team fight that we've managed to just win out because the enemy team simply don't know how to deal with it. So there's two things I want to talk about in this next Icon Val clip. The first thing is what I mentioned before. Me and the team managed to wipe out this Pharah here, and what happens is I fight the Mercy, and you know Mercy sometimes she just wrecks you, and she nearly kills me, and this is what I was going back to before. I go and get the health pack. Mercy's isolated, she can't kill anyone, she can't do anything bad. Instead of forcing that kill there, I blink away, get health, and then we finish her off. That's something you always want to be wary of in defense. Staying alive, way more important than getting that instant first kill. Sometimes you have to get the kill, of course. Sometimes you really have to. But a lot of the time, staying alive, rubber banding with your team is the way forward. The other thing I want to talk about is that you'll see I get a big chunk of damage off on the Pharah at the start. And what I want to talk about here is this misconception of Pharah. We've spoke about her before. We've done videos about how to counter her. We've mentioned that McCree and Soldier aren't always the best solutions, and that Widowmaker is the best direct counter. Now, there are a couple of heroes that are okay against Pharah, and they are Tracer and Sombra. It is map dependent, of course. If the Pharah is miles away at the back of the map, of course you can't just kill them, it's not possible. However, as soon as they get close, or they have to come to the ground, and at some point they will come to the ground, that is a really good opportunity for you as Tracer to do some real good chunk damage to the Mercy and the Pharah. Also, on some maps, it's perfectly possible to get the high ground and just blink over to the Pharah and do damage to her in the air. You've seen the clip where I stick the Pharah, which was just hilarious. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You can get to her level sometimes on some maps, and Tracer isn't as bad against Pharah as you would think. The next thing that happens is the Winston jumps me. Now, I don't mind fighting a Winston as Tracer. It's definitely not a hard counter to her. But once again, pick your battles, guys. You don't have to fight everything. So I back up. We get a pick on the Genji. The Pharah is in the back line. And our team, again, are rubber banding back. And we get the kill on that Pharah once more. The Winston overextends, and he simply has no chance. It's a terrible, terrible play by the Winston. These guys shouldn't be in here at this point, but they do start fragging out, which is unfortunate to us. So the next thing that happens once more, and I mentioned it before, is peeling or rubber banding, whatever you want to call it. We cannot win this fight. And this happens a lot in matchmaking, is decide when it is worth a third or 2/3 or 3/4 of the point. If you keep trickling in one by one, are you going to lose this objective? Should you be contesting this as Tracer at this point? I decided no, I am not going to. I go back, get some health. My team do trickle in a little bit, but then the teammates that have peeled, have decided to regroup, manage to come back in and take it right at the end. And you know what happens? This is actually the winning point in the game. They do not manage to take the point off of us now throughout the rest of the game. It cost me my life, but the kills that me and the Reinhardt managed to get from that counter initiation was all the difference. If I was playing Soldier there, I could have tried to run away, but they probably would have caught up with me. I managed to come in from a much better angle as Tracer. If I was McCree in this situation, I probably wouldn't have been able to run away, just like my Zarya and my Ana couldn't. And it's so important that as Tracer, you're alive most of the time on defense. I do die, and when I come back in, it is panic trickle mode time. And here, the last thing I want to talk about, I've mentioned before, but that is blink management. See how in these fights, I'm prioritizing targets. Don't stick the Tracer. Bad idea. I shouldn't have done that. Don't talk about it. Okay, I don't want to hear it, guys. But yes, shouldn't have stuck the Tracer. However, see how I'm always trying to keep a blink or two handy in all of these fights. This way, every time something starts damaging me, I can zip away, get a health pack, and then zip back. And that's what I do throughout all of this fight. My tracking gets a bit messed up on the Mercy. It happens. We all miss shots. But again, that blink management is what's the next important thing. You got a rubber band, that's great. You got to pick your targets. But in order to do these things, you have to have good blink management. Your E or your rewind is an absolute last resort at all times if you're going to die or if you feel like something is just about to hit you. Not necessarily at low health even. Sometimes you can stay alive on no health as Tracer. That's absolutely fine, but sometimes you need to do it to evade what an enemy is doing. Like Finder Zenyatta's good as Tracer, but as soon as he hits a headshot on you, you have to rewind, for example. You have to manage these blinks to an appropriate level. And we've done videos on these before, which is why I'm not going into tracking some merch or blink management all the way in depth. It's because we've done it before. But having all of the things that I've taught in these guides before is how you play Tracer on defense. So I'll put some things for you guys on screen now in order to highlight it. If you want to play Tracer on defense, you do need a fundamental understanding of how she plays. You need to be able to manage your blinks appropriately. Now, initiation with Tracer's never been easy, even on attack. You can't just be in the back line, they'll turn around and kill you. Point of initiation needs to be your team's point of initiation, even when you're playing her on defense. So as soon as there's a team fight, that's when you're in the back line, not before and not after. That timing is very, very important. Remember, the getting a kill is not as important as staying alive on defense a lot of the time. Of course, there are times where you just have to go for it, like that final Eichenfeld clip where we had no choice. They were about to cap the point, so we managed to just get in, trickle it out, and win the fight. I hope this helped you out, guys. If you think I missed anything, the comment section is the place to go. I didn't think I'd be doing another Tracer guide, so here we are. Maybe there'll be another one in the future. Be sure to check out our Twitter and our Discord, where you guys can find the Tracer main of your dreams. You can also check out our Patreon if that's what floats your boat. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you guys get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.